Here is the real reason why Tesla missed Q3 deliveries. I will play a clip from Tesla earnings call that will give you the exact answer. But I just want to point out right here, this is how deliveries for Tesla works right now. So let's take Q2 right here, and you will see that in the beginning of the quarter, basically no deliveries, and then there's a noticeable increase, and then it is an extreme peak right here right before the end of the quarter, and then it goes down to almost zero. This is not efficient. Not at all. If you look right here, this is underutilized outbound logistics, so you could be using this a lot more efficiently, and then here you're just overpaying. Anytime you are over this red line, you are overpaying for shipping. And we need to have just a little bit of context, so this clip will just be about a minute long.
Extremely confident of a great Q4, and we anticipate continuing to grow our vehicle production, sales deliveries by, on average, 50% a year as far into the future as we can see.
Thank you.
Actually, one caveat I should say, growing production by 50% every year, because deliveries, we're trying to smooth out the deliveries and not have this crazy delivery wave at the end of every quarter. So, in fact, we were just fundamentally running out of, there weren't enough boats, there weren't enough trains, there weren't enough car carriers to actually support the wave. Tesla got too big. So whether we like it or not, we actually have to smooth out the delivery of cars intra-quarter because there just aren't enough transportation the objects to move them around.
So that's exactly the reason for the miss of deliveries in Q3. Literally, Tesla is now so big that before, when Tesla was just a tiny company, they could just rush all of the cars out at the end of the quarter and it would be fine. But now, delivering hundreds of thousands of cars each quarter and overall growing by 50% year on over year, basically on average, you are literally running out of ships, out of trains. Literally, it's not just they are just too expensive. You literally just don't have a train or a ship to put the car on. This is rather good news, but this reminds me of a few times before. You know, there are just some things that you don't think about before you get big. Like, for example, when I had very little money, or when our family had very little money, I grew up with my mom. My parents separated when I was little, and my mom worked minimum wage jobs, basically. And we never had a case where you know, my mom would go to a bank and she would try to take money out or transfer money into some other account, and the bank would be like, well, why are you transferring this $400 here? Why do you need so much cash? It's only $400. Like, they wouldn't ask those questions. But now, if let's say I go to a bank and I'm like, I want to transfer this money, we're like, well, what are you gonna do with all this money? Why don't you just keep it here? Like, they make it difficult, and it's annoying. It's just something that you wouldn't think about. Or, for example, if before, I would never be worried about keeping cash in a bank account because it would be easy to keep it under $100,000 per account, because up to $100,000 generally the money is insured. So if a bank goes under, your money is insured by the government. But now it's more difficult to do. So it's just like another thing that you have to do that you would have never thought about before. Like now, if I, let's say, want to put money in a bank account, like I have to look, oh, is this bank gonna go bankrupt by any chance? Like I have to think about that now, even if the probability is extremely small. But I mean, I don't want to lose my money, right? So it's just one of those problems where you get so big that you would not have thought you would have, but now because you are so big, you just have to find a different approach to handle your problems. And we are going to see more of those problems going forward. For example, I believe one of the most limiting things that we will have will just simply be materials for Tesla to acquire and keep, because the production is going to be so high. And I'm not talking about just traditionally we know batteries, that's where we need to worry about, but also we have to think about other things as well. There are so many things that go into cars. You also need steel, aluminum, all those other materials. You gotta have the whole supply chain work towards those increased deliveries every single year, and it's a lot. That's one of the reasons why Tesla takes a lot of things in-house. Like Elon Musk just said on the Tesla earnings call, it's not like Tesla wants to vertically integrate everything. They only do that when they cannot find a good supplier to do the work for them. For example, with seats. Did you know that Tesla makes their own seats basically? And they are very good, by the way. Because working with a supplier is difficult, takes too long. It's not that Tesla wants to do that. It's that if Tesla wants to grow at the rate it is growing, it has to do that. So if Tesla needs to get into mining, Elon said they will. They will do anything. They will get into anything that they will have to get in if there's no one else who will be doing it well. One more big takeaway from the earnings call is R&D money that is directed by Tesla. Every single dollar is spent much more better and effectively by Tesla than compared to basically any other company. And the argument that Elon gives for that is because Tesla simply has the most brilliant and the best people. And then Elon went on to give us example that Nikola Tesla, the person, not the company Nikola, I'm talking about the person Nikola Tesla, that one single engineer is worth more than an unimaginable number of good engineers put together. Like, the difference is so big. Like, you can put, let's say, thousands of good engineers and they will still not beat what one Nikola Tesla can do. So Elon's reasoning for that is because they have the best people. And of course, I believe Elon Musk is the single best world's engineer that we currently have alive, who is working on solving world's problems. So that's another reason why I want to hold Tesla stock, because the R&D money just goes so much further. Of course, we will have those scaling issues, and we are starting to see that with logistics now. But really, all I'm focused on is Tesla innovating. And if we keep doing that, margins are going to be there as well, and therefore earnings are going to be there as well. And if earnings are high, eventually, Tesla stock, I deeply believe, will be worth at least 10 times more. These are 48 reasons why I only own Tesla stock. My name is Matt Postius. I'll see you in the next video later today or tomorrow. Thank you so much for watching.